NBC6 News Today at 6:30 starts with breaking news.
And we want to kick off our team coverage this morning with a live look at the NBC6 Doppler 6000, First Alert Doppler 6000 radar. And the good news is most of that rain is now off the coast of Florida, but that wind is still causing problems.
Yeah, that big blob there is on the right side of our screen. We like to see that, but unfortunately this morning, as you're waking up, there's quite a bit of damage left on our roadways. In fact,
I like your official weather description.
The blob, and clearly
big blob.
Clearly, I'm not a meteorologist, but we do have video showing some of the areas that were hit hard by this storm. Heavy rain and wind pounded parts of Davie all night and into the morning hours.
And we have video out of Miami Beach as well. This is Collins Avenue at 44th Street. You see some of the floodwaters. Not unexpected when you factor in the high tide as well. It's usually a problem in that area when we get a lot of rain.
And we've got some more video. This is out of Miami Beach. And yikes, do you see those cars there? This is right off of Meridian Avenue and 12th Street, just showing how much that wind affected folks out there.
All right, let's move on from yesterday to today, what the plan is. If you're in Broward County, schools are closed. Public schools closed for the day. The school district says all after-school activities, events, field trips, sporting events, scheduled meetings, evening classes, all canceled to ensure that everybody's safety and well-being is put first and foremost. Pembroke Pines charter schools are closed as well, but Pembroke Pines early development centers will still remain open. Miami-Dade County Public Schools announcing that they will remain open today as well.
All right, let's take you outside with a look at the conditions right now from downtown Miami to South Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Hollywood Beach. As you can see, no rain at this point.
Also, no postcard type images.
No, it's pretty gloomy.
But we brought in that Hollywood Beach camera. You see it popped up bottom right-hand corner. Yeah. And that's what the story is right now, and that's the wind. You see those palm trees.
Leaning to the side.
Leaning. Doing what palm trees do.
Yeah. Lean?
Lean. Well, they keep most of those fronds kind of swaying with the wind. Good morning, South Florida. It's just after 6:30 on a Thursday morning that we can hopefully start to dry out with. Yes. I'm Chris Anderson.
And I'm Constance Jones. Yeah, we've got a lot to cover this morning. We've got team coverage for you as you head out the door. We have NBC6's Julia Bagg and Shanae Amaro tracking flooding in both Miami-Dade and Broward counties.
Traffic anchor Joanna Torres has you covered, tracking the roadways. It's slick out there. There are some power outages. Some traffic signals are down. But we do want to get things started with the man with the weather plan. Meteorologist Adam Berg with a look at what's happening right now, and that wind is really causing problems.
That Hollywood Beach camera was the money shot for sure. I'm going to show Miami Beach as well. It's going to show the same thing. That's the story now, even though the story that we just basically dealt with was all this ridiculous rain. Really, we've been dealing with for 3 days. But finally, the rain is out. But very windy out there. After today, a much calmer stretch ahead. Oh, what a brutal last several days. So let's kind of break down the rain. So if you look at yesterday's rain, okay, up until about 11 o'clock last night, you see here through Broward, Melrose Park, nearly 8 inches, Fort Lauderdale, 7 and change, Plantation, 7, Cooper City, 6 and change. We go to Miami-Dade and the Keys here, even a little bit more. Key Largo, 8.5, nearly 9 in Marathon. Coral Gables, 7 and change. Sweetwater, 7 and change. Miami Lake, 7 and change. Kendall, almost 7. So that was until 11 o'clock last night. When you look at the 24-hour total, so that goes from basically yesterday from 6 a.m., including times after 11 p.m. last night, all the way into about this morning, the number's even higher. You start seeing a lot of these 8-inch amounts in pink, Fort Lauderdale, Davie, Sunrise, Cooper City. And then look at Miami-Dade County. You start getting into this 8+, even the white, by the way, closer to 10 inches in the last 24 hours. So the number's even higher. And then what happened here in South Miami-Dade and the Upper Keys is astonishing. A humongous area of white. Homestead, North Key Largo, over 10 inches of rain in some of these spots here from about yesterday, 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. this morning. And if you think that's a lot of rain, look at the 3-day totals here. Then you start getting into the foot and a half range. Look at this, right around 18 inches of rain in some parts of South Miami-Dade, including Homestead down towards Key Largo. Just insanity. So thank goodness this rain is out of here. It is. What are we left with? Very windy conditions on the backside of this area of low pressure. And this area of low pressure is actually gaining strength. It's getting deeper and deeper. The pressure's dropping as it works east. Hurricane Center is giving this a slight chance of development here. Yes, hurricane season not over. Now for us, you know, you forget I even said it that way. This is basically something that may develop way east of us. No tropical impacts with this system. It's going to be about the winds today. Right now, a little less than where they were. 36-mile-per-hour wind gusts Pompano Beach, 37 in Fort Lauderdale, 20-plus here Homestead and Marathon. And now I'm plotting what, you know, the highest winds we've seen so far today. At one point here, just a couple hours ago, Pompano Beach, we were gusting to 52. We've already seen winds gusting over 50 in Fort Lauderdale, nearly 50 in Miami, 51-mile-per-hour wind we saw there in Homestead. This is a huge story in and itself. And then, of course, you know, with that said, we've got the wind advisory, high wind warning, with winds that may gust 50 to 60, and then hopefully we'll be looking a little bit better this afternoon. Okay, and so obviously parts of Broward hit hard, just like, you know, the rest of South Florida, and that's where we find NBC6's Shernay Amara. Shernay, what are you seeing there? 3-day totals, rainfall totals are right around a foot.
Yeah, so, you know, as you mentioned, of course, the rain has moved out. We've showed you earlier some flooding. We want to talk, though, about the wind gusts and those impacts because we got a pretty interesting viewer call this morning. So there was actually a couple sleeping on this boat right here, right behind me, but they woke up to quite the scene. Crazy wake-up call this morning because the Carrie B, I'm going to pan across the new river here in Fort Lauderdale, the Carrie B tour boat, because of the wind, they believe the line snapped and it came right down this river. It hit a sailboat and then it hit their boat. So imagine waking up to that. And I want to paint the picture for you because they were rescued or helped by fire crews. And we do have some video of that as well so we can show you. But during that time, she was woke, you know, the couple woke up and we spoke to Stephanie, who was on board. She was here with her boyfriend, and she said that as soon as they woke up, they got out, and they were trying to figure out what was going on, and it was gusting. I mean, her skin was getting pelted by the rain here, and so just imagine that scene, just really chaotic. Again, so the boat was hit by that big tour boat that they believe was loose because the line snapped because of the wind. Someone called fire crews, so they were here pretty quickly and were able to try to help them, and they were waiting for basically something to pull the other boat back. So they were waiting for about an hour and a half for that. But take a listen to her describing the chaos and what they endured earlier this morning.
So I was just worried. We were all worried. We were like, you know, hitting the bridge or just hitting boats along the way because, you know, it was just no one was on the Carrie B. The lines had snapped. It was docked down there. So the lines had snapped because of the wind. So it was just, you know, doing its thing down the New River.
Again, that was Stephanie that we spoke to. Again, she was on board here with her boyfriend, woken up by that tour boat hitting their boat here, and they had to wait again an hour and a half for a tow boat to come out here. Now the Carrie B, thankfully, is secure, and again, yeah, it's a bummer, of course, that, you know, the boat was hit, but she tells me she's just so thankful that it wasn't, you know, a bigger boat or that they are okay. It wasn't something like the Jungle Queen, if you're familiar with that here in Fort Lauderdale. Again, pretty chaotic moments early this morning, happened around 4 o'clock in the morning, but they're just thankful that everybody on board was okay. So that's what we're seeing here in Fort Lauderdale. I do want to hang things over to my colleague, NBC6's Julia Bag, to see what she is seeing in Miami-Dade. Hey, Julia.
Yeah, Shernay, it is a situation that right now neighbors are just waking up to, trying to figure out how to get to work, how to get to school. Neighbors here like Irsa Pereira, and you're trying to get to work. You woke up, you saw this, you knew it was bad last night.
What? I didn't expect it to be this bad. It was raining all night. I heard it against the windows, but this morning I did not expect it to be that bad.
What'd you think when you stepped outside here?
Horrendous. I put on my good sandals to come out because I knew I wore shorts because I knew it was gonna be well, up to our ankles, and it could have been worse, but it is still very astonishing to wake up and have to go through all of this water.
And, you know, just looking around here, some of your neighbors have tried to park in higher ground. There's another neighbor just trying to take in the scene, what it's like right now. Parts of it, the good news is it has gone down, but still some neighbors have decided, you know what, they don't want to risk even getting out of this complex. They've turned around.
Yep, that is true. That is true. Thank God that I have my little van and I'm able to get through. But there's a lot of people that do not have cars that are high, so
it really caught a lot of people off guard.
Yes, a lot of people off guard.
All right, well, we hope that you stay safe. Yursa, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay dry.
Yeah, we're going to try. So the good news is rain has stopped this morning, but so much of it and simply nowhere to go. But some places it's lower, and then as you go around this complex, it gets higher. And so that's what's making it so difficult for neighbors here to figure out, can they make it out of here? Can they not make it out of here? And of course, they don't want the water going into the buildings, which they have experienced in the past. It looks like perhaps they're in the clear as far as water getting into the buildings. It is a big mess. Here's another car just trying to splash through that area, which has looked more like a river. It's actually kind of a side street on the buildings. And here's another neighbor just trying to make her way through. People really trying to stay dry here. If you look over here this morning, you could see right outside the building how there are still some deep areas, shallower in certain parts of the streets, but definitely nothing anybody wants to have to deal with this morning. Some neighbors here deciding, you know what, they're going to try to wait and see if the water will go down, which it has since we've been here for the past few hours. We have noticed it going down. That's the good news. And boy, are they hoping for no more rain here today. Live this morning in Fontainebleau, Julia Bagg, NBC6 News.
Julia, thank you so much for time. Now 6:41, and be careful out there on the roadways. We are looking at some of the slick conditions. It could be a mess as you're heading out to school, to work, wherever you got to go this morning. NBC6 traffic anchor Joanna Torres continues to take a look at the roads and some of the issues that we're still seeing out there. Oh, and a bad accident, I see. Thanks.
Yes, we're seeing some major congestion and delays on our roadways this morning. This is the MacArthur Causeway heading eastbound, where 2 left lanes are blocked due to some debris that you can see right there blocking the roadway. So traffic is only getting by 1 lane there, so causing some major delays all the way back to 95. So your alternate route there is going to be to take either 195 if you need to get to Miami Beach this morning. Also, we're seeing some crazy delays on I-95 southbound just before the Airport Expressway and 195. That right lane is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. And then on top of that, there's another accident on I-95 southbound just before the Dolphin Expressway and 395. That left lane is blocked, so you can just imagine the traffic nightmare it's causing this morning. So just make sure you pack your patience and drive safe. Chris and Constance.
Joanna, thank you. Well, Wednesday's washout has caused traffic delays and also issues at airports across South Florida, of course. So let's take a look at some of the issues that we know so far this morning. The numbers at last check at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, there are 18 delays reported and 2 cancellations. Over at Miami International Airport this morning so far, 10 delays reported and 1 cancellation. Of course, for the latest on all things weather, including the handheld version of First Alert Doppler 6000, you can download our free First Alert weather app to stay up to date.
We're taking a live look Hollywood Beach, and this is the story of the day weather-wise, the wind. And you see those palm trees, the fronds blowing in the high wind. We're going to check back with Adam Berg in just a bit on what Mother Nature's throwing our way after what seems like endless rain over the past couple of days. 6:43 is your time. You're watching NBC6 Today. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start. We'll be right back.